and welcome to our final lesson in the three-string Pentatonic Riffs series. I'm Sean from Coda Guitar, and we've already done three lessons looking at major and minor pentatonic riffs. Great for blues, rock, country, folk, pretty much any style you can think of. They get used all over the place. Really strong, positive, and very versatile as well. Hopefully you can see from the four, we've got sort of a range of different sounds out of them all. So this particular one is probably the most difficult of the four. So if you hopefully you've had a go at the first three, and you've got to grips with those, and then you can tackle this one. So let's tune up and we'll carry on. So there's low G, middle D, high G. Okay, so as with all the others, if you like this lesson, please consider going to our site. There's a link, and you can download the score. It's really useful to sort of use when you're learning the demos, and also helps to support the channel so we can put out content more regularly. First half price for the first 7 days, so just a couple of bucks be much appreciated. But getting on with the lesson, this is major pentatonic. So there was an easier one that was major pentatonic, and there's been a couple of minor pentatonic, and much more of a sort of sweeter melodic sound compared to the gritty sort of minor sound that you get. But as with the minor, it's still just a 5-note scale, so nice sort of positive sound. Let's just have a very quick recap over the scale and the chords that we can use, and then we'll get on with having a go at the demo. So we've got on the top string, open G, straight to A, fret 2, B is fret 4, D is fret 7, E is fret 9, and the octave of G is fret 12. So this is entirely slide, as with the other three, and as with the previous minor pentatonic one, we're fingerstyling this one. I'm using a thumb pick, you don't have to, but it just gives me a bit more variation in tone between the fingers and the thumb. So on the high G, we can, moving from there, we can play the same notes on the low G. So A, B, D, E, and then the octave at fret 12. And the middle D, we've got D to E, straight to G, which is our root note, isn't it? So that's on fret 5. And then we go to A, fret 7, B, which is fret 9, and then fret D, which is the octave of the open D string, fret 12. Okay, and we can also play certain chords. Some of these frets match up in three different places. So we've got open G power chord, G5. We can also play a chord at fret 2. So that's an A5 chord. So that's A, and that's an E. So they combine to form a A power chord. D, fret 7. So we've got a D and an A. They combine to form a D power chord. And then finally, E and B at fret 9. Open, A5, D, E5. There's the octave G at fret 12. Okay, so that's what everything's based around, and we can completely just improvise. I suppose that the whole idea is for you to go away and do your own thing, but can play on one string, combine the strings, or play pairs of notes. Incidentally, just before we get into this, if you want to brush up on anything, there's a beginner fingerstyle lesson, and there's some slide technique lessons. I mean, to be honest, if you look through the other three pentatonic lessons, that'll probably really help you with your slide playing. There's quite a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides with the slides, so it's good to get into those. But on with the demo. So this has a swung rhythm to it, a blues shuffle again. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, so that sort of horse trot rhythm. And a little bit later on, we'll be getting into triplets as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the whole thing has that uneven sort of three notes in a beat sound. So a bit of palm muting on the bass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bass, and I'm going to hammer on straight away, slide angle, so just watch, don't you angle in so you don't catch string 1. I'm going to hammer on to fret 2, so thumb, fret 5. So as you can see, there's quite a lot as well of that sort of claw hammer banjo style strumming. So we've got beat 1 is the thumb, beat 2 is a hammer on with a down strum, beat 3 is a thumb, beat 4 I've slid up to 5 and I go, well technically actually that upstroke is on the 3 and, so it's 3 and 4, and then the final down is on beat 4, the down strum. So we've got thumb, strum, 2 and 3 and 4, and then the second beat bar is slide into fret 4, that's our major note, and then 2, 3, 4, so just strumming on beats 2 and 4. So I'll just play all of that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you speed it up, you get a nice sort of bouncy sound to it. I'd take your time with that. I'd probably go around that, rewind this video, try that a few times, because that particular sort of loose strumming, the sort of shuffly rhythm, that's sort of integral to the whole thing. But once you have got that, the second line of the score, the third bar is exactly the same as the first one, and then I am in the fourth bar, there's a little fill, so playing fret 4 on the top 2 strings together, and then fret 2 on the 2 Gs, and then I'm doing a pull off, and then thumb, hammer on, so it's fret 4 on the 2 Gs, fret 2 on the 2 Gs, pull off, thumb on its own, and then pluck, index finger, pluck the middle string, hammer on, and then play the top string open. So again, you've got the slide angle there. So the timing of that is 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. I will play the first 2 lines. So it's 1, 2, 3, up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, bar 3, 1, 2, 3, up, down, together, pull off, bass. Okay. Line 3 is the same as line 1, so that's good. But then there's a slightly tricky fill at the end of this section, so bars 7 and 8, which is line 4. We're up on fret 7. That's a pull, so all thumb and 2 fingers. Then you sort of slide down and gradually come off the strings until you just left with fret 4 on the top string, and you can give that a strum, and then you can do a thumb, play the open strings. I'm going to hammer on onto fret 2 across all the strings here, but as I do that, I'm also going to hit the bass with my thumb. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a bit funny. We'll try that again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll carry on in the next bar. Thumb. So it's thumb, hammer on from the open onto, again, the angle, just onto the middle string. But as I hammer on onto the beat, so it's 1, 2. So as I hammer onto the beat, there's another thumb there. So it's thumb, 2, and then fingers in between on the open, thumb again. So it's thumb, fingers, hammer on, thumb, fingers, thumb, strum, just to finish the phrase off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I put extra fingers in there, sorry, I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just play bars 5 to 8, so that's lines 3 and 4. And then onto fret 7, strum, thumb, hammer on, thumb together, thumb together, fingers. Bars 7 and 8, a bit slower. So you got, it sounds, when you speed it up, it's got a nice sort of like bouncy sound to it, and the end part has a nice sort of character when you speed it up as well. Okay, so definitely practice. That's the first part. It's sort of three parts that they're all quite short. You know, you can extend them out if you like the sound of it. You can completely sort of loop this, put your own parts in as well. But definitely practice that. Make sure you can play that okay before continuing. So we're on to the second page, which is the second section now, and we're kind of doing a on the surface, a relatively simple little descending thing just through the notes in the scale. 12, pull off to the open string each time. 9, 7, 4, 2. Apart from, it's got quite a funny sort of character, rhythmical character to it. So, what on earth is going on there? Well, first of all, we've got, I'll talk you through the sequence, and then we'll look at how the notes are grouped in sort of 3 beats, and then 3 beats, and then 2 beats, which adds up to 2 bars in total. So we've got together, pull, just the top string, and it's 1 and 2 and 3. So far so good. 1, 2, 3, and then what's happening there is we're playing fret 9 just before the thumb on beat. So the thumb is constantly on the beat all the way through, and so the third thumb note, the fret 9's just before it, and then it's thumb, and then you do a pull off just afterwards, and then you pluck with your index finger on the middle string, and the thumb, the pull off and the index creates a triplet. So 1, 2, 3, triplet. 1, 2, 3, triplet. and we do exactly the same. That was 3 beats there. We do exactly the same thing from fret 7, which is, I'm going to count it from 1 again. 1, 2, triplet, 1, 2, triplet, pull off from 4 to the open, 1, 2, triplet, 1, 2, triplet, and then just to finish off, little strum. So it's just a pull off from fret 2 and then strum on the open strings, and all of that has added up to two bars, like eight beats. Okay, so that's line 1 of page 2. The next line, the first bar, which is bar 11, does the same thing, but then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do a single bass, and then we do a pull, all of the strings into fret 7, the D, strum, slide up, and then pluck the bass when you arrive at the E on fret 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the first line. So the second line goes like this. Bass, pull, strum, slide up, play with your thumb. Bass, pull, strum, slide up, and pluck with your thumb. Line 3 is the same as line 1, and that's actually the end of the section. So I'll just play through all of that second section. So it's bars 9 through to 14, so it's 3, 4. Bass, D, strum, straight back in. So that's quite complicated, that. I'll go nice and slowly, we'll try it one more time. So it's 3, 4. Strum, back up again. Bass, pull, strum, thumb, start again. Strum. And that takes us on to, so definitely practice that. Definitely practice that. That's quite complicated. The sort of triplet coordination of like lifting the slide off, pulling off at the same time is quite, or at the correct time is quite difficult. It makes sense. It's sort of fairly intuitive when you get it, but it's probably a bit of a rhythmical coordination hassle to start with. So practice it. Rewind this video. But the final section, we are down here on the A. Doing a pull, playing all of the strings, pulling off to the open, and doing a hammer on, just a single hammer on this middle string, angled again, strum, do that again, so this is the same trick. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So pull off, hammer on, strum, just repeat that little 3-note sequence again. And then at the end, slide in, that's for a beat, and then do a little trill, like it's a triplet, open, hammer on, pull off, 1, 2, 3. So okay. Then we do the same thing again. But this time, angle in on the middle string, slide up to 5, and then strum on the open afterwards. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slide in. And then the third time round is the same as the first one, so it finishes with. Alright, so I'll play from bar 15 all the way through to bar 20. So this is the bottom of page 2, and it's going through onto page 3, the first 2 lines. So we've got strum, pull off, trill, do it again, into 5, strum, same as the first one, and then just to finish off, we've got a couple of similar phrases, pull off, pull and pull off, and then a trill on the middle string, down up strum. That technically isn't in the minor pentatonic, but it's nice and bluesy, so it's more of a fret 3 than a fret 4. Sorry, the fret 3 is more of a minor pentatonic, so it's got a nice bluesy character when we finish off. So we've got pull off, trill on the middle, so hammer on, pull off, which gives you the triplet. 1, triplet, down, up, strum, and strum at the end, another thumb. Thumb. And we leave all of those notes ringing through. If we hit that nice and open, what we can do for the final bit is we can make everything nice and open, nice and ringing through. And so I'm doing a pull off, fret 2 to the open, hammer on the middle string, play open strings 2 then 1, and then pull off, again slide into fret 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the final 2 lines, which is bar 21 to bar 24, is let that ring out, then do that again. Sorry. And then the final line. So just once through all of that final section, so that's from bar 15 onwards. country blues, country ending. So yeah, that's it. So there's some slightly funny rhythmical things going on there. There's definitely quite a lot of funny coordination. I mean, if you can get this would be really, really excellent for your playing. You can play it slow, it still sounds quite nice. You don't have to sort of motor through it. But try and keep that nice sort of steady thump going with your thumb, because the thumb's basically just playing on the beat all the time. Sometimes it's for two beats, sometimes it's for one beat, but it's pretty much just like a foot tap all the way through. And you do actually get quite a lot of songs where they do that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, the sort of rhythmical grouping of either riffs or strumming patterns in chords. You know, it's I think it's like an African thing originally, which filtered through into, you know, blues in the US. So yeah, have fun with that. Please consider moseying on down to the website and downloading the score. It would definitely help with learning this one, I think. And yeah, look out for the final sort of theory lesson, like I said, just explaining about how 5-note pentatonics are very sort of intrinsically linked to the 7-note scales, and maybe a little look at how some chords work alongside them as well. So we'll look forward to seeing you here again very soon on Coda Guitar.